Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just So I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did even more side quests over here in the Divanian Forelands, mainly dealing with the dragons. And this episode we're gonna go and most likely finish it off. Do you have what I required? A Divanian Forelands flower, whose dragon-speaking name roughly translates into summer tree. Ah, such sweet flavor. Thank you. I can feel the knots in my muscles uncoil. My body has grown rigid, confined to this tower, but I can endure my watch a while longer. Did you find that which you saw? Though weathered and worn, letters carved upon the stone can still be made out beneath patches of lichen. Or lichen. I don't know. I actually don't know that word. It appears to be an accountant of dragons being granted succor by an Ellison healer. These markings, yes, this is his work. You know the person who made this? Aye, I did. He was a dear friend from another age, an age when man and dragon yet lived together in harmony. He labored to prolong our longevity when he was all too fleeting. An interesting man. Though he is no longer of this world, it gladdens me to know his efforts will not be wasted. Dragons follow the natural order. However, if you wish to heal all us, I will not forbid it. Take Call with you and prepare the remedy inscribed upon the on the tablet. At last we can help brother. Tell me then, what is required for this remedy to work? Centuries of wind and rain have worn the tablet's glyphs, but you managed to discern the remedy calls for wyvern tails. Wyvern tails, peculiar name for peculiar plants. They grow mainly near the trees to the northeast, where water pours from the great ruins. Take what you can from there. I will search along the cliffs up above. When you found the wyvern tails, bring them back here. Take care, Lynn. Do I seriously have to go all the way back there again? Son of a bitch. Oh well. This is what I should expect from side quests in an MMO. Or just in any game, really. A lot of the games are like, hey, go back over there. I'm like, oh, okay. At least I can fly, you know? Like, can you even imagine not being able to fly in an area like this? Trying to get over here would require you to go all the way up here, then up here, then going along the mountaintop, dropping down over here, then going all the way around, all the way this way, and then over here. So, yeah, I'm fine with the way that it is now. Alright, and yet again, back to Enix Shrine. Gotta go forward and back, and forward and back, and then go forward and back. And then one step forward. Oh yeah, another piece of news which I haven't been able to share yet is that we have cleared the coils of Bahamut Savage. So those videos will also be released soon-ish, the clear videos. Were you able to find the wyvern tails? I fear they grow in short supply. Excellent. There was but a small helping along the cliffs, but I found them. Now, how do we prepare the remedy? Infusion. I'm not familiar with this infusion. It sounds like work that cannot be done alone. It requires the skillful hands of man. I will leave this next step to you then. When you have finished, return here with the remedy. Well, hello there. What brings you to this part? Use of my pot, I suppose. Would mind telling me what you plan to do with it? This. So you plan to tell me what to do with it? Throws a freaking flower in there. God dang it. These cutscenes are like, why are they here? Whenever I like, I just fucking hell. I just do it the best. I'm going insane, like always. Yeah. That's what happening. That's what happening. That's what happens when I'm suffering from both heat and allergies. But I'm always insane, mind you, and I'm just like a little bit more. Is the infusion complete? I wish to see what the remedy looks like. Excellent work, you never cease to impress me. But how do we use this to help brother? I see, maybe pouring that over the wounds will promote healing and ease brother's pain. This is good. Keeping the wounds clean will be easy, letting him recover much faster. Let's be off to Morn then. The sooner brother is healed, the better. Bruda. You talk about my Bruda? Tread softly, lest we wake him. Now pour the remedy over his wounds. An infusion made with actual wyvern tails would probably be kinder to the tongue than this foul concoction brewed from the Dravanian plant of the same name. Is the remedy working? Can you see any changes in brother? Something protruding from the wounds. Please remove them if you can. Thank you, then. That should do well to ease brother's pain, and let the remedy take hold quicker. Why do you disturb me from rest? You dare insult me by bringing a despicable filth with you? Can you not see the pain I am... The pain... It's gone. Listen, brother. Lynn has treated you with medicine and removed the strange objects embedded in your flesh. A wasted effort. A dragon needs only sleep to mend its wounds, not the foolish tricks of man. Brother, please hear me. It is true we dragons heal with sleep, but it requires time we cannot afford. Would you willingly choose to lie here, writhing in agony? With only claws and fangs, I could do nothing but watch you suffer, but Lynn has helped you in ways no dragons can. I cannot deny there are men who mean to do us harm, but brother, surely you understand now. There are those who would aid us. Can you not see that Lynn is a friend to us? Make no mistake, brother, her kindness does not atone for the evils I have suffered, for our kin slain by the men of Ishgard. But as man has drawn blood, man has also granted me succor. Your kindness will not be forgotten then. Thank you. Times are not what they once were, that much is clear. Trust does not come to me quite so easily, but I will give thought to the matter of man. That is all I can ask for, brother. Thank you. Come then, let us tell Mother that the remedy was a success. Your expression tells me much. I see the remedy was effective. With all Al's recovered, I would take back the tablet. Though he has long since perished, his legacy will live on in his work, a boon to our kind. I will keep close guard over it when man and dragon at last make amends. There may come a time when we have need of its knowledge. This time I will make sure it is not so uneasily reached. A place where even unwinged allies will not labor to retrieve it. Thank you, Lynn. I hope you are but the first of many to prevent Cal, Mick, and someday the rest of our kind. Well, you're in your debt, Lynn. It will take time, but your kindness will be repaid until we meet again. Alright, give me that X potion. And that is finally everything in this place. I feel like I'm gonna say that about literally every area in the game. We're just gonna be like, finally! Oh, but trust me, Mogholm is worse. You see all these quests? And the best part is, these are actually required if you want to unlock the Beast Tribe. You have to do, I think, all of the side quests in this place to unlock the Beast Tribe. So, off we go. Dealing with the troubles of the Moogles. We also go into this. Get this sightseeing point. Okay. Oh, you've returned to bask in my alluring aura. One can never have too many devotees. Say, I have just a job for a fledgling fan, Koopa. I require 4 vines from the Sancchinis that reside north of Macomb. An ardent admirer such as yourself surely will not deny me. I've heard the most amazing news, Koopa. Rare and fragrant flowers called hornblooms are blooming near the House of Letters. If you could go and pick 3 of them, my gratitude would be yours. Macomb's upper layer is bathed in sunlight. That's why the Koopa trees grow lush and leafy. I think a few may look perfect in my garden. I only want the best trees, and that means the best Koopa nuts. Moxia tends to the greenery up top. Ask him if he can part with some. 5 should be enough, Koopa. Oh no, this won't do. This won't do at all, Koopa. If you don't water these flowers soon, there'll be nothing left but dried husks. But thanks to a mean old Harupkin, doing God knows what in the spring, we can't get anywhere near the precious water. Say, you look like you've done your fair share of dragon slaying. Why don't you get rid of that hulking Harupkin for us and fill this ewer with water for the flowers, Koopa? Our little garden is depending on you. Okay, and then there is another quest up here. You there, Koopa. Yes, you're exactly the type of brawny adventurer I had in mind. You have just the perfect build for what I require. You see, the Sky Lords and service to Nidhogg, while always a bit of a nuisance, have become increasingly belligerent recently. Understandably, us Moogles are more than a little frightened for our marvelous Macomb, Koopa. That's why I've decided to take up arms in defense of our home by joining the Palm Guard. With me protecting them, the Moogle Guard will no longer have to cower in fear. There's just one obstacle holding me back. I haven't actually joined the Palm Guard yet. To do so, I must prove that I am strong enough to be a capable defender, and I need you to help me. How do we go about proving my strength, you ask? Well, we shall scour the turning mist in search of troubled Moogles, Koopa. I lent my sword to these poor Moogles in their darkest hours, and word of my bravery was spread far and wide. Come, adventure, let our search begin! Now here's a Moogle in need of my help. See his pom-pom? That's how I know, Koopa. It has to be somewhere around here. Is something amiss, Koopa? Well, I had recently acquired a massively painted pebble and wished to gaze upon it once more, but when I went to look for it, it was nowhere to be found, Koopa. Worry not, my troubled friend. I'll find this pebble for you, and soon you'll be able to. You'll once again be enraptured by the pebble's enchanting brushstrokes. You're too kind, Koopa. I enjoyed an afternoon nap just northeast of Macomb not long ago. My pebbles anywhere is likely to be there. Then to the northeast of Macomb we shall go. Adventure, that means you too! Ah, so Magomo is in need of Koopa nuts. He has been a good friend. Very well. Take as many as you need. Just pick them straight off the branches, Koopa. What are you, nuts? I do wonder, like, if there's an equal amount of side quests in the expansions as opposed to like a Realm Reborn or not. That's one thing I've really been wondering. I've really just kind of like been wondering like how much time does it take to to get through some of these expansions, you know? Just to kind of like compare it to the base game, to like know if like is an expansion as big as the base game, or is the base game still bigger? That kind of stuff. No, I guess I can just do this. This will be good enough. It resets after like a minute anyway, so. There we go. And it'll probably take me a minute to get some of these other things. Or in any case, to some of these other things. And in the meantime, I have my summons. Yay! Summoner is fun. I really enjoy playing Summoner. It's simple too, which is, I think, probably one of the reasons why I like it. Says the man who has, who's a warrior main, and his main DPS, or in the case melee DPS, is Reaper. I'm starting to see a pattern over here. What is my main physical range though? My main healer is Sage, in any case. That's an interesting question. Now, honestly, that is actually, I think, like those are the three jobs that I'm just not sure about. I think Dancer still, though. I think Dancer would still be the one that I would play the most. Just because, like, a Bard is just a mess for me. And then Machinist is kind of hectic. And then Dancer just really feel like that. That was close. The monster was lucky I was so distracted by my search, or else I would have bared my blade in its scaly hide, Koopa. Thanks to you, however, I was able to retrieve the pebble without injury. Hurry, adventurer, we must make haste to deliver it to its word owner. Owner. I remember this pool. Because there was a fish in here. Or a big fish. Oh. Ah, thank you so much for finding my prize pebble. It would have been a terrible waste of Koopa nuts if had I lost it. Such a trifling task is nothing for the likes of future Palm Guard member. Palm Guard member. Whatever. Now take care not to drop the pebble again, lest I'm too far away to rush to your aid. Well, it turns out helping Moogles isn't so hard after all. At this rate, Magom will be worry-free in a matter of days. And all thanks to us. But maybe we should spread our wings and help and bring help to the Moogles living outside Magom. Yes. Wherever a Moogle flits in frustration, Moglia will be there to help to lend a helping paw. Kupo. I know Moglia will pull through in providing only the best. Were you able to find the nuts I require? The flavorful seed of a Kupo tree. The Kupo tree is cherished by the Moogles across the realm. This particular nut is especially plum. My thanks. I couldn't have picked firmer Kupo nuts myself. The trees which sprout from these will be the envy of gardeners everywhere. One day, people from the surface will visit Magom in numbers like never before, bringing shiny tools and other sundries I can barely imagine. On that day, I'll show them my glorious Koopa nuts, and they'll have no choice but to trade for my superior product. Just you wait, Koopa. You've returned bathed in a floral scent, Koopa. Were you able to find 3 of the flowers? This beautiful flower blooms only once every spring. The rest of the year, the plant is considered one of the ugliest in all the land. You really have the eyes of a florist. As I'm sure you've gathered, these are far more precious than the other flowers we see dotting the landscape. as they only bloom so lovely once a year. I'll put my very best into making sure they stay healthy and robust. Don't tell anyone, but I'll be using these for my secret gardening. When it's finally complete, you'll be the first one I invite, Koopa. Oh, I can see the flowers wilting before my very eyes, Koopa. Did you manage to bring the water? On undecorated clay, you were filled to the brim with cool spring water. Finally, the flowers are saved. There didn't used to be so many dragons stamping about those springs. But recently, we've been seeing more and more. I don't know where they came from, but I'm sure they're only here to make our lives a pain in the pom-pom, Koopa. My steadfast supporter has returned. Did the Shankshinis prove to be any trouble, Koopa? The thick, fibrous vine of a Shankshini. New roots have already begun to shoot forth from the exposed cut. Magnificent, marvelous, such beauteous vines almost make me green with envy. With these I'll make the most harmonious harp in Bogholm, and Moogles from realms around will be enraptured when I perform with a harper's pet. Come, and lend your voice to the cheers of my fabulous fans, Koopa. Oh, Moogles. May you never change. The shiny sundries made by the landlords are in vogue all across Bogholm, Koopa. But Moogles can't work metal themselves, so everyone goes searching for shiny objects at Thorl own cache. But I know a secret place, the House of Letters, Koopa. So many shiny objects are just waiting for someone adventurous to go pick them up, and they do call you an adventurer, so what do you say? If I had 5 sparkling objects, that should be enough to make the other Moogles jealous. I won't leave you behind. The puns. The good old puns. Sparkly Spillikin. Oh, no, I was just enjoying a leisurely stroll and I dropped my favorite ring. I saw one of those brutish looking Sirup tape pick it up. Pretty please, could you get it back for me, Koopa? I suppose I could. Once again, this is just one of those like random ones where you will have a random chance of getting it from any of these, as far as I'm aware, anyway. Jesus. And I don't seem to be very lucky right now. There it is. Let's go and continue picking up the shiny objects. Dun, dun. Do, do, do. I feel like there's probably one on top of this tower. Yeah. Huh. Also a sightseeing point. I can't believe those Sirictae have the nerve to just take whatever they find on the ground. Or off the ground. Were you able to recover my ring, Koopa? A metallic ring that, while obviously very old, has somewhat maintained its luster. It's my ring. I knew you'd be able to get it back from those mean old Sirictai. I'd never be able to forgive myself if I had lost this ring. It cost me my life savings of 42 Kupo nuts. Okay. Alright, to the north. I'm gonna go and pick up some more stuff before I go back to Magom. No, with more stuff I mean just literally this one freaking quest. Then I'll go back to Magom and then I'll go over here to this, what's this place called again? Asa. Oh no, the Moogle police. Ah, so tired, you see. A friend of mine in Magom came down with a terrible fever, and I came all the way here to get him some medicine. But I didn't know that it'd be so exhausting to search for it, Kupo. I don't think I can go on anymore. You look like you have plenty of energy left for fetching. I was looking for a maca leaf. You should be able to find the one on the southeast of the monastery. Keep in mind, you'll only be able to reach them if you can fly like us Kupals. Moogles can. Any road, I think I'll just lie down here for a bit, Kupo. Damn, boy, you dead. Look at these bugs. Look at that voluptuous carapace. Thank the heavens it's a maca leaf, Kupo. I'm still quite tuckered out. I can barely flap my wings enough to fly. Say, why don't you head to Magom and give the maca leaf to my friend? Please hurry. His fevers seem terrible, Kupo. It was a good idea for me to come here, because I needed to go back to Magom anyway. I'm also going to get this, because I don't want it to be in my face. I can't believe no one has thought to go and look there yet. Adventure, were you able to find enough of the landlord's shiny objects? A metal fragment broken off an item most likely left by the landlords who inhabited the Churning Mist over the Millennium Pass. Wonderful, amazing, spectacular, Kupo. Oh, I've never seen such illustrious objects before. I'll be the talk of Magom before long. Remember, adventure, the House of Letters is our little secret. If you don't treat him soon, he's pom-pom. Say, do you happen to have maca leaf? Moogles believe that chewing the maca leaves lifts spirits, making it easier to accomplish more work. This does not seem to be the case for non-Moogles, the leaf having no noticeable effect outside of turning one's mouth green. His friend asked you to deliver it. How kind of him, Kupo. I use this to make medicine right away. I'm glad we can ensure our Moogles are healthy thanks to good adventure. Thank you for collecting the maca leaf, adventure, but we'll need more than that to get than this to get my friend back on his feet. The leaf will give him his energy back, but only blistering scales can calm his fever, Kupo. Could you ask the Mist Beasts if they would part with, say, 3 handfuls, if they're not forthcoming? You can use this muggling glaive to slice them off. It's so sharp you can trim their scales without them even noticing. Good luck, Kupo. Hello, friends. I'm just gonna keep doing it on this guy. There we go. How goes the search for the blistering scales, Koopa? Those mist beasts aren't like to part with their scales willingly. Let's sneak up behind them and shave them off with that muggling glaive I gave you, and they need never know. These mist beast scales are covered in a thin layer of viscous liquid numbing to the touch. Thank you, Koopa. These scales aren't the shiniest I've ever seen, but I suppose I'll have to do. I'll mix them in with the maca leaf and brew up a medicine that will soon bring the shine back into our patient's pom-pom. Are you serious? No. Feel a lot better, Koopa. Must be because of the maca leaf that my friend went to find for me. But where is my friend, Koopa? He isn't hurt, is he? He said he was going to the monstery, but the monstery is full of monsters. Maybe the monsters got him. And, I don't feel well, Koopa. I don't think I'll ever feel well until I see my friend again. Please bring him back to me, Koopa. I totally didn't just inhale a little bit of spit. Sometimes I really, question my ability to stay alive as a normal human being. I have that whenever I eat and you accidentally, inhale food or anything with, or drink or whatever, then I, really start to question my ability to stay alive. And I'm like, come on, really? This is how I suffer so, this is how I make myself suffer so much? Jesus Christ. Adventure, is that you? Thank goodness you came, Koopa. A swarm of nasty bugs appeared, so I had to hide. Now that they're gone, I can head back to Markham and see how my friend's getting on. Well, hey. Look at this spit that I just inhaled. I hate it. It's the bloody worst. Anyway, are you good now? You good, dude? Hello, adventure. I feel a lot better now, and my friend is safe and sound too, Koopa. You're a lifesaver in more ways than one. And there we go. And there's another quest that appeared around here. Wahey? Oh no, without my Cloud Mallows, I can't do anything, Koopa. My precious Cloud Mallows were carried off by a sudden gust of wind. The currents carried them off in the direction of the Mother of the Sheaf statue. Adventurer, please, recover my 3 pieces of Cloud Mallow before I lose my Moogle mind, Koopa. I hope you were not here for commentary. Sometimes it's just nice to chill, listen to the music, take in the atmosphere. feel like I've said that basically every single episode. Or maybe I'm just excusing myself. There's so much work to be done. So many Moogles do nothing but play. Say, you look like a serious sort. Would you deliver something to Margom for me, Koopa? I have a pot here filled with rich black loam from the surrounding area. Please deliver it to my friend Mogomo in Macomb. He'll be ever so happy. Whoops, I need to get that thing first. God dang it. Sure, I'll get these 2 quests over here too. Why not? And if they take me to the north, I can go and get the quest to the north. I've really gone and done it this time, Kubo. I was merrily making my way through Old Town when a bladed Vinegarun started to chase me. I was so scared I dropped my nuts. I was carrying 5 Kupo nuts, but now I've got none. Please find them for me, Kupo. I'm nothing without my nuts. Oh my. Have you seen those bladed Vinegaruns loitering around just beyond the pass, Kupo? Well, I have. Enough to last me a lifetime, in fact. They're making it impossible to travel through Old Town unmolested. Could you get rid of 4 of them for me? The Old Town. Perish. You vine goons. Sad dinosaur noises. Right. Thank you, adventure. Now I can relax a little, but only a little, Koopa. Those Vinegaruns are always chasing after Moogles, snapping their blade jaws and swinging their bladed tails. If I wasn't there to scare them away, this place would be a few pom-poms short of a picnic. Oh, adventure, it's awful, it's terrible, it's infuriating, Koopa. My 3 young charges have flown off into the wild wastes of Old Town. They've been watching you adventurers head over there to face the dragons, and the reckless little rascals thought to try it for themselves, Koopa. Please, adventure, you've got to bring them back before it's too late. Are those my nuts you're holding in your hand, adventure? All 5 of them? A large Koopa nut dropped by the unmaneuvering Moogle. My nuts! My beautiful nuts! I'd recognize those Koopa nuts anywhere, Koopa. Thank you, adventure, you're a lifesaver. Why, when I realized I'd lost my nuts, I was so upset I nearly pulled off my pom-pom. A lot of wild birds make their nests up in the heights of the zenith, and this year's flock have finally fledged. I hope they come back someday, Koopa. But until then, we've got a pile of empty nests to deal with. Those big stacks of sticks, feathers, and half-chewed buck bits aren't exactly in keeping with the beauty of this place. Will you help me clear them away, Koopa? The birds like to build them in the very highest places, so take care you don't fall. Right. So now we need to go all the way to the top of the zenith. Which is indeed quite a ways upwards. we go. I feel like at the actual top there is a sightseeing point, right? Yep. Eh. The zenith. And now we get to go all the way downwards again. As I slap my chair. For reasons that I cannot really explain. Now goes the cleaning effort, Kubo. Have you managed to clear up all the nests yet? An abundance of molted down in this empty nest suggests that its former inhabitants grew large enough to set out on their own. Thanks for your help, Kubo. Just between you and me, I've heard that you can make a tasty soup of bird nests. When I get back to Malcolm, I'm going to boil them out a few fresh Kupo nuts. Do you think I should leave in the half-chewed buck bits or scrape them out? Ugh. Disgusting. No thanks. I want none of that. Kupo, it's a real-life adventure. I bet you're not tired at all, are you? I'm so pooped I can barely lift my pom-pom. I think I'm gonna have to call it for today. Can't go on, Kupo. It's so scary out there. I don't know how you adventurers do it. He asked you to bring me back to Zenith. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm going to fly back as fast as my wings will carry me. Meep. Which is not very fast. The speed at which he was flying makes me believe that it was not very fast. Koopa. It's adventuring fun. There are dragons everywhere, but I'm not scared at all. The next time I go on an adventure, I'm going to pull one's tail. He says while shaking and holding his head. Since we're here, may as well go to the north over here. I've been working tirelessly gathering tools once belonged to the landlords. They're scattered about these dragon-infested ruins, but those vicious weavers attacked me and stole my hard work. The nerve, Kupo. Say, you look the sort who can deal with bullies. Please get my tools back. The weavers stole 3 of them. Right from out of my paws, Kupo. So anyway, I started blasting. Okay. Is this seriously a thing? Where the game is like, oh yeah, you need 3, but they're also like an RNG chance to drop. And you know, the weavers also like are not only there, but like kind of everywhere. I should have made that area bigger. I got one of them. Whoopsie. I'll just go and cast that. Freaking slap, Jesus Christ. Mind you, it didn't do any damage, but it sounded very painful. We're gonna get rid of these. We're gonna let ffXIV finish them off. Okay. And then I'm going to need one more. Just one more. But it's not from that one, that's for sure. There we go. Can't very well end my day's work empty pot. Do you have what the dragon stole from me, Koopa? An old tool left by landlords. Its purpose lost to the winds of time. Yes, these are the tools I found. Many thanks for returning them, adventurer. The Sky Lords still hold a grudge towards the landlords and their kin, and are loath to allow even Moogles to use the ancient tools of their enemies. Us Moogles don't care one way or the other about grudges, and if you ask me, it's not like the tools are to blame for the sins of the past, Koopa. Can't go so much longer. I can't go on much longer, Koopa. I've been flapping my wings off all day trying to escape these irritating dragonets. I seem to be fascinated by Moogles and won't stop following me around. Their numbers just keep growing. There's no choice now but to thin the crowd a bit. If you were to give the dragon pups a bit of a thrashing, that'll teach them not to harass the poor Moogle, Koopa. Time to murder some things. I'm sorry, give them a thrashing. However, I don't know restraint. Summons Bahamut. Casts Akmorn. No, it's not really Akmorn, it's Death Flare, I think, right? Yeah. Finally, the pests bother me no longer. Maybe next time the dragonets won't be so bold. As cute as Moogles are, and we are cute, that doesn't give wild animals the right to just mob us around like a piece of meat, Koopa. I suppose. Let's... Someone, anyone, help us! We've discovered something in Thornhold Cache that'll make your stomach turn, Koopa. Giant winged insects are infesting the ruins, brooding over eggs which could hatch any time. Our expedition can't continue with such a disgusting beast in the way. Help us, Koopa. Okay. I just gotta find all the other ones. I remember this being kind of difficult, finding all of them. Okay, I'm already too high up. Could be over here, yeah. Could also, of course, be that I couldn't really... that I had issues finding it because of the fact that I didn't know the area that well. Well, now I do, after having caught all the big fish and doing beach tribe quests a million times. Makes you very aware of the areas. Were you able to solve our pest problem? You have our gratitude. Curious Moogle historians of the realm are in your debt. Thornhold Cache was home to the landlords many years ago. That area is overflowing with knowledge and history, and we mean to take as much as we can back with us, Koopa. While we were exploring the ruins, some vile monsters we've seen never before popped out of the eggs littering the area. They were sighted at 3 different locations around the ruins. Dispatch them so the expedition can continue, Koopa. You remember the quest you just did? Now do the same, but now with... same enemies. Well, kind of. It's like the children, basically. It's the eggs that they laid. That are now hatching. Now we just have to find them. One more. Just one more. All the way over here? Yeah. Sneaky! There we go. Many thanks for ridding the ruins of those vile brutes, Kubo. Now we can continue on with our expedition in earnest. And before another Moogle over here. Oh my god. Our expedition is exploring the ruins of Thorlum Kash to learn of the time when there was peace between the Skylords and the Landlords. None have stepped foot here in ages. To be honest, it's quite frightening, Kubo. It might be time to cut the expedition short. Could you inform the other Moogles that I will be returning home shortly? I'm too scared to move, so I'll be waiting here. The ruins are massive, but the architecture indicates someone or something lived here in comfort. What's that? Time to go home? Well, if you say so, Koopa. What? We're leaving already? Well, I suppose it is so much sinister here. I've only been able to scratch the surface of these ruins. So much to see, Koopa, but I am getting quite tired. I suppose I'll go back. I found traces that Ratatoskers brood once lived here. Most interesting. Oh, the expedition is over? I shall return at once, Koopa. The ruins resemble Zenith at parts. I wonder what kind of dragons could have lived here, Koopa. Well, I guess we'll explore more tomorrow. Everyone seems to have returned. Thank you, adventure. It seems that these ruins were once home to Skylords loyal to a great worm named Ratatosker. To think that such palaces were dedicated to dragons outside of the great Racefelker and the evil Midhawk, Ratatosker must surely have rivaled them in greatness, Kubo. As interesting as the ruins are, staying here fills me with a sense of dread. For now, the expedition will return home. Thank you once again, adventurer. And with that, my friends, I'm going to end off over here. Hope you enjoyed this episode of just how I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're going to go and continue helping these insane Moogles. Goodbye.